Good morning everyone. Welcome back to grade 4 mathematics class. I hope you finished all the activities we mentioned in the previous class. Do take pictures and send us once you have finished them. So today we will talk about rounding off numbers. What do you mean by rounding off? Suppose one day you went to a wedding and the next day your friend is asking you how many guests were present. How will you answer them? You will say there were about or there were around 100 people or 200 people or maybe 500. So you will say an approximate or rounded off number, which is not the actual number. It will be close to the actual number. So this is called rounding off numbers. Rounding off numbers will make them simpler and easier to work with. So let's see what are the steps involved in rounding off a number to the nearest 10. When you are rounding off a number to the nearest 10, the rounding digit is the tens digit. You have to check the digit in the ones place in this case, which is the digit to the right of the rounding digit. So, if the digit in the ones place is either 0, 1, 2, 3 or 4, that is, if it is less than 5, you have to change the ones digit to 0, keeping the other digits same. If the digit in the ones place is 5 or more than 5, that is, if it is either 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9, you have to add 1 to the tens digit and keep the other digit same. Also, change the digit in the ones place to 0. So, let's see that with an example. Look at this number 14. Here the rounding digit is the tens digit. So, we have to check the digit to the right of the rounding digit, which is the ones digit. So, here the ones digit is 4, which is less than 5. So, we just change it to 0 and the tens digit remain the same. So, 14 rounded off to the nearest 10 will give you 10. Let's see the next example. 1298. Here the ones digit is 8, which is more than 5. In that case, we have to add 1 to the tens digit and change the ones digit to 0. So, that will make this number. Here it is 0. Here 9 plus 1, 10. We carry forward 1. Then 2 plus 1, 3 and 1. So 1298 rounded off to the nearest 10 will give you 1300. I hope this is clear to you. Now let's see what are the steps involved in rounding off a number to the nearest 100. It means we are changing the number to the nearest multiple of 100. So in that case, the rounding digit is the hundredths digit. We have to check the digit which is right of the rounding digit. So in that case, here it is the tens place. So if the tens place is less than 5, if it is either 0, 1, 2, 3 or 4, we have to change both tens and ones to 0 and other digits will remain the same. If the tens digit is 5 or more than 5, you have to add 1 to the hundredths digit and we have to change the tens and ones to zeros. Now let's see that with examples. Look at this number 202. Here, the digit in the tens place is 0, which is less than 5. So, these two digits will become zeros and the hundredths digit will remain the same. So, 202 rounded off to the nearest 100 will give you 200. Let's see the next one. 2750. Here in the tens place you have 5. So let's add 1 to the hundredths place and change these two digits to 0. So that will make this one 2800. I hope this is clear to you. Now let's see how we can round off a number to the nearest 1000. When you are rounding off to the nearest 1000, the rounded digit is the thousands digit and we have to check the digit in the hundreds place. If the hundreds place is less than 5, change the hundreds, tens and ones digit to zeros and keep the other digits same. If the hundreds digit is 5 or more than 5, add 1 to the thousands digit and change both tens, ones and also hundreds place to zeros. Let's see that with examples. Look at this one, 1024. In this case, the hundredths place is 0 which is less than 5. So let's change all the other digits to 0 and thousands place remain the same. So 1024 rounded off to the nearest 100 is 1000. Now what about the next number? It's a 5-digit number. Here the hundreds place is 7 which is more than 5. So we have to add 1 to the thousands place and change all the other digits to 0. So that will make this one 35,000. So 34,789 rounded off to the nearest 1000 will give you 35,000. Now as an activity, all of you please go to page number 11. Go to the topic rounding numbers. Then move on to exercise 1.3. We can finish the exercise and come back. So I hope you finished writing the answers. Now let's check the answers. Question number 1. Round off the given numbers to nearest 10. So the first question 87. The digit in the ones place is more than 5. So we have to add 1 to the tens place, which will give you the answer 90. 192. Rounded off to the nearest 10 will give you 190. Here the answer will be 1300. Here 4840. Here 3010. And here the answer is 7630. I hope your answers are correct. So now let's move on to the next question. Question number 2. Here we have to round off to the nearest 100. So you have to check the digit in the tens place. So here tens place it's 2. So rounding off will give you 8300. Here it is 7300. Here it is 700. Here it is 4800. Here it is 3200. And the last one 5500. I hope your answers are correct. Now let's check the third one. Rounding off to the nearest 1000. So we have to check the digit in the hundreds place here. So it is 3 in the first number which is less than 5. So all the other digits will be zeros. First digit remains the same. In this case it will be 2000. Here the answer is 14,000. Here the answer will be 21,000. Here the answer is 53,000. And here the last one, the answer is 75,000. I hope your answers are correct. Now let's move on to the fourth question. See the pictures given below and answer the questions that follow. You can see 3 vehicles given here and the price of each vehicle is given there. You have to write the rounded off price of each vehicle to the nearest 100. So the first number it's 4,11,140. Rounding that one to the nearest 100 will give you 4,11,100, which is the price of the van in approximated value. So what about the price of car? The actual value is 3,10,430. Rounding up to the nearest 100 will give you 3,10,400. Now the third vehicle, the motorbike, the actual value is 2,78,280. Rounding off will give you 2,78,300. So I hope your answers are correct for part A. Now there is a part B in the question. Let's look at that one. Here, you have to find the total price of all the 3 vehicles and round it off to the nearest 100. So the actual price of all the vehicles are given here. The total cost will be, or the total price will be, adding all these will give you 9,99,850. You are asked to round it off to the nearest 100, which will give you 9,99,900. Then there is one more question in that one. Is there any difference between the actual price and the rounded off price? The actual price is this one and the rounded off price is this one. You see a difference here? The difference in the price will be the rounded off price minus the actual price, which will give you rupees 50. So I hope your answers are correct. So today we talked about rounding off numbers to the nearest 10, 100 and thousands. I hope the concepts are clear to you. So as an activity for the day, you can turn to page number 14 in your textbook. You will see 3 questions there. You can note down the answers in your notebook, take the picture and send us. So that's all for today. We will meet in the next class. Until then, bye.